All right, so we're going to look at area model multiplication and how we can do that. So what I've done here is I have collected some base 10 blocks, and I'm going to model the equation 12 times 15. And so if we look, when I'm building my area model, this side needs 12 cubes. So it would need a 10 and 2 ones. And the top side is, and it's going to need to keep happening for 15 times. And if I sit here and I keep doing that, I'll eventually end up with 10 groups of 12. So this is 10 times 12, which is 120. I'm not sure if you can kind of see that, but this is going to be 12 in length. So if we think about, we're trying to figure out the area of something, like in geometry, which this could help us, then that is 12 in length. This other side needs to be 15 in length. And so right now, it is now 15 in length, 15 cubes long. The problem is I have this missing part, so I need to fill it in with ones, cubes, because the whole side, remember, has to be 15. So when I look at it even on this side, it's a rectangle. This side has to be 15. So I see 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's 15. And this side has to be 12 over here as well, just like it does over here, and it is now 10 and 12. And so now I've made that area model. But for a lot of kids, that doesn't make sense. So I go ahead and I draw the pictorial at the same time. So if we think about the pictorial, we're going to draw our rectangle, and we're going to say this big chunk here is 10. And we're going to say this other chunk is 5. And then on the bottom side, we're going to cut this off, and this is 2, and this section is 10. So now we have our area model drawn as a picture. We have a 10 and a 5, we have a 10 and a 5, and we have a 10 and a 2, and we have a 10 and a 2. And so now I really kind of tell the kids, initially when I start, I like them to think about, this is 10 times 10. I probably should have done it in red. This is 10 times 10, so this is going to be 100. And if you look, it was 100. And then I go and I say, well, now this section is 10 times 5. And so that equals 50. Okay? And so if we look at that, if I go back up here, this is 10, right? 10 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 10. We can think about it either way. 10 groups of 5, 5 groups of 10 make 50. And then if I look down here, this is saying 2 times 10. So 2 times 10, and that makes 20. And if we look, 2 times 10, that makes 20. I just love it. It just makes so much sense. And then we do 2 times 5, because we're multiplying this factor times this factor, and we get 10. So now, these are our partial products. If we think about doing this as an algorithm, we would get partial products. I don't usually push the kids to the algorithm. I like to push them to decomposing. So if we think about 12 times 15, I actually decompose this into a 10 and a 2, and I decompose this into a 10 plus a 5. And so at this point, I need to multiply times 10 times 10. And so 10 times 10 does make 100, and 10 times 2 does make 20. And you can see that's exactly what I have here. And then if I look at this other, I'm going to do still 10 and 2, and I'm multiplying it by 5 this time. And so when I look at that, I get 50, and I get 10, which is exactly what I got above. And so at this point, decomposing or my area model give me the same answers. But I like the kids to be able to construct the area model and know it. And the only way we can is first build it. So build it and do it with drawing. Build it, do it with drawing. Then we'll move to, we just do the drawing and we can decompose. Drawing and decompose. And eventually then we allow the kids to make their choice. Are they going to do it with an area model or are they going to decompose? Finally, much later, we will then teach the algorithm. And even when I teach the algorithm, I still like to start with the kids really kind of understanding. So for example, we would start with the 2 times 5. Really, in all honesty, you can do it in any order, but the algorithm does 2 times 5 first, which is 10. And so I'm not going to regroup, I'm just going to record it here as a 10. And then the algorithm would move to 5 times 10, because now the 5 is multiplying this. 5 times 10 is going to give me 50. And then the algorithm would move to 10 times 2, which is this, and that's going to give me a 20. And then the algorithm moves to 10 times 10, which will give me the 100. And, sorry, should have written that better. And so now I still, again, have the same partial products. Eventually then, I move the algorithm into the true standard algorithm. So this, to me, comes much later. I need to be able to accomplish the area model and the area model. Area model, then do decomposing, finally move into doing a expanded form of the algorithm, and then to the traditional algorithm, which if a child chooses to only just use decomposing, that's fine. If they choose to use the area model always, that's fine. That will help us with the decimal models as well.